The stars stretched endlessly across the black canvas of space, tiny points of light that seemed distant and cold. Yet, to Captain Arya Solis, each star held a possibility, a new world, a new challenge, and perhaps a new friend. Arya sat in the cockpit of the exploration vessel Horizon's Dawn, eyes fixed on the glowing orb ahead. This was not just another mission. This was humanity's first contact with the Luminara, a civilization unlike any Earth had ever known. Arya's heart raced, a mix of excitement and nervousness. Humanity had prepared for decades for this moment, studying the Luminara through long-range scans and faint signals. What they had learned was astonishing. The Luminara were beautiful, intelligent, and capable of manipulating energy in ways that human science could barely explain. Their homeworld, Luminara Prime, glowed softly, alive with bioluminescent plants and floating structures that seemed to defy gravity. Ships and creatures moved with grace, reflecting the planet's calm brilliance. "Captain Solis, we are entering Luminara's atmosphere," said Lieutenant Rin, Arya's trusted co-pilot, breaking the silence. His voice was calm, but Arya could hear the tension beneath it. They had trained for this moment, but nothing could truly prepare them for a real encounter. "Understood," Arya replied, gripping the control panel. She took a deep breath and activated the landing sequence. The Horizon's Dawn descended slowly, guided by an invisible energy field surrounding the planet. Arya's eyes widened. Luminara Prime was even more beautiful than the images had suggested. Towering trees glowed with soft, pulsing lights. Rivers shimmered like liquid crystal, and in the distance, enormous structures floated above the land, reflecting the colors of the sky. When the ship landed on a smooth, glowing surface, Arya stepped out cautiously. The air was warm and smelled faintly of flowers, yet nothing like any earth fragrance she had known. Before her stood the first Luminara she would ever meet. They were radiant, their skin shimmering in shades of gold and silver, hair like flowing streams of light, and eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. Arya felt a mixture of awe and fear. "Welcome, humans," a melodious voice said. The Luminara spoke through a language translator, but the beauty of their voice could not be hidden. "I am Elendra, guardian of Luminara Prime. You have journeyed far to reach us." Arya bowed slightly, following the formal customs she had studied. "I am Captain Arya Solis, representing Earth. We come in peace and hope to learn from your wisdom." Elendra smiled, a gentle glow radiating from her face. "Peace is the first step toward understanding, but understand this, our powers are not for display to the unworthy. Only those who show courage, creativity, and compassion may witness our true strength." Arya felt a spark of curiosity. She had expected diplomacy and conversation, but Elendra's words hinted at something deeper. "I understand," she replied. "We hope to earn your trust." For the next hours, Arya and her crew were led through Luminara Prime. Everywhere they looked, the planet seemed alive. Plants pulsed with energy, rivers sang soft melodies, and the Luminara moved in harmony with their world. Arya noticed subtle displays of power. A Luminara creating light patterns in the air that danced like fireflies, another lifting a stone with only a gesture, and yet another bending water into shapes of incredible complexity. Lieutenant Rin whispered, "Captain, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. How can they control energy like that?" Arya shook her head. "I don't know, but we must observe carefully. We are guests here, and our behavior will determine what they allow us to see next." They entered a large, floating city at the heart of the planet. The city shimmered with energy, yet it felt peaceful and welcoming. Elendra led them to a central chamber where a group of Luminara awaited. These were the leaders, the ones who had mastered their powers beyond imagination. They moved with grace, and every motion seemed to glow with purpose. "Captain Solis," Elendra said, "to understand our abilities, you must first understand our way of life. We do not seek to dominate, but to harmonize. Energy is not a weapon for us. It is a reflection of our mind, our heart, and our creativity. Only by showing ingenuity and courage may one truly witness the full beauty of the Luminara. Arya listened carefully, realizing that the challenge was not physical but intellectual and moral. Humanity's strength had always been adaptability, problem-solving, and resilience. Perhaps these qualities were what the Luminara valued most. Over the next several days, Arya engaged in learning exercises with the Luminara. They asked her to solve complex puzzles using both logic and intuition, to navigate paths that tested creativity and observation, and to demonstrate empathy by mediating disagreements among younger Luminara. Each task felt simple in isolation, but required careful thought and insight. Arya began to see why Elendra had said only the worthy could witness true power. During one exercise, Arya was asked to guide a group of young Luminara through a maze that shifted according to their thoughts. Initially, Arya struggled. She relied on rigid patterns, expecting the maze to behave predictably, but the maze reacted unpredictably. She paused, took a deep breath, and allowed herself to think like the Luminara, fluid, adaptive, and open to creativity. Slowly, she found the path, guiding the young ones with gestures, words, and calm assurance. Elendra observed quietly, her glowing eyes following every motion. When Arya reached the center of the maze, the chamber brightened, and a subtle hum filled the air. Elendra spoke. "You have shown creativity and courage, but this is only the beginning. True understanding comes not from following, but from creating, from harmonizing with the world around you." Arya felt a sense of pride and responsibility. She realized that humanity's ingenuity, even without alien powers, was significant. Humans could think in unpredictable ways, find solutions where others could not, and adapt quickly. Perhaps this was what would allow humans and Luminara to form a meaningful bond. That evening, as the twin moons rose over the glowing city, Arya reflected on everything she had seen. She wrote in her log, "The Luminara are magnificent. Their abilities are breathtaking, but what makes them truly remarkable is their harmony with each other and their world. Humans may not possess such powers, yet our minds, our courage, and our creativity are gifts in their own right. I feel that this is only the beginning of something extraordinary. If we prove ourselves worthy, perhaps we can learn not only from them but with them." Suddenly, the ground beneath them vibrated faintly. A distant hum grew louder, and the sky lit up with streaks of color. Elendra appeared beside Arya, her expression serious. "Something approaches," Elendra said. "Not all beings in the galaxy will welcome our harmony. You must be prepared. The next challenge will test not only your skill but your heart." Arya nodded, feeling a thrill she could not hide. Humanity had reached the stars and now faced a test unlike any before. The Luminara had shown her beauty and power beyond imagination, but there was more to come. The galaxy held wonders and dangers, and Arya knew that Earth's future among the stars would depend on courage, wisdom, and the spark that made humans unique. As night fell over Luminara Prime, the glowing city shimmered in harmony with the stars. Arya looked out over the landscape and felt a deep sense of purpose. She understood that this mission was not just about diplomacy. It was about showing that humans could rise to the challenge, learn, adapt, and earn the trust of even the most advanced civilizations. For the first time, Arya felt the weight of humanity's potential and the incredible journey that lay ahead. The adventure was just beginning, and somewhere deep in the stars, the galaxy was watching. The sky above Luminara Prime glowed with the soft colors of twin moons, but the calm beauty of the night hid an approaching storm. Captain Arya Soli stood on the observation platform of the floating city, staring at the horizon. In the distance, strange shadows moved between the stars, an approaching fleet unlike any Arya had ever seen. Lieutenant Rin joined her, his face pale with concern. "Captain, those ships aren't Luminara, They're huge, aggressive-looking. Arya nodded, already understanding. The galaxy was vast, and not every species valued peace or harmony. "We need to alert Elendra," she said. Inside the central chamber, Elendra and other Luminara leaders observed the approaching fleet. "They are the Vorax," Elendra explained. "A species that values control over harmony. They fear what they do not understand. They see our powers as a threat to their dominance." Arya swallowed. She had trained for moments like this in simulations, but this was real. The Vorax ships were large, armored, and built for intimidation. Humanity had no experience in interstellar combat like this, and yet Elendra looked at her calmly. "We will not fight with violence," Elendra said softly, "but we must be prepared to defend ourselves. Humans, your ingenuity is what we value. Your creativity may be the key to overcoming this challenge." Arya's mind raced. She realized that she would have to combine human thinking with Luminara energy manipulation, a challenge she had never imagined. "We'll do it," she said firmly. "Show us what you can and we'll find a way." For the next several days, Arya trained alongside the Luminara. They demonstrated controlled energy manipulation, bending light to create illusions, forming barriers from pure energy, and even shaping small objects with precise mental focus. Humans could not replicate these abilities, but Arya learned something important. The Luminara's power required strategy, observation, and a clear mind. During a training session, Elendra presented a scenario. "Imagine the Vorax are near. You cannot match their size or strength." "What will you do?" Arya thought carefully. "We observe them first. Then we use unpredictability. Their strength is in force, not creativity. We can use strategy to confuse them, create openings, and turn their aggression against them." The Luminara leaders nodded, impressed by her approach. Elendra said, "You understand. Power is not only in the energy itself, but in knowing how to use it wisely. Humanity's mind is sharp and flexible. That is your greatest strength." Soon the Vorax fleet reached the outskirts of Luminara Prime. They broadcast a message, harsh and commanding. "Luminara, surrender your powers or face destruction. The galaxy will not allow your influence to spread." Arya watched as the Luminara remained calm. Elendra spoke, her voice firm. "We do not seek war, but we will not yield to fear. Captain Solis, your humans may help show them that strength is more than force." Arya felt a surge of responsibility. She knew humanity's role was not in raw power but in thinking differently. "We'll work together," she said. "There is a way to protect this planet without violence if we can be clever." The plan was set. Humans and Luminara would combine their strengths in a way the Vorax could not predict. Arya suggested creating illusions and distractions to guide the Vorax fleet into a position where the Luminara's controlled energy could safely disable their engines without harm. The Luminara were impressed by the strategy. It relied on observation, adaptation, and imagination, qualities humans excelled at. The day of confrontation arrived. The Vorax fleet approached in formation, massive and intimidating. Arya's heart pounded, but she focused on the plan. Using the techniques learned from the Luminara, she coordinated teams to manipulate light and energy fields, creating illusions of multiple Luminara ships and obstacles. The Vorax, confused and frustrated, struggled to maintain formation. Arya watched as a small squad of Luminara moved in synchronization, using energy barriers to redirect the Vorax fleet's path safely. She realized that even without alien powers, her human insight had become a bridge between strategy and execution. During a tense moment, one Vorax ship broke formation and moved dangerously close to the floating city. Arya had to act quickly. She calculated the angles, adjusted the energy fields, and instructed a Luminara unit to focus on creating a reflective light beam. The ship's sensors misread the beam as an obstacle and it veered away, avoiding collision. Elendra observed silently, her eyes glowing with approval. "Captain Solis," she said afterward, You see possibilities where others see obstacles. That is why humans are valued. You are not bound by tradition or expectation. You create solutions. By the end of the confrontation, the Vorax fleet, confused and outmaneuvered, retreated. They realized that brute force would not succeed against intelligence, creativity, and coordination. Humanity's role had been crucial, not in raw energy, but in thinking, predicting, and adapting faster than any enemy could anticipate. Arya felt a deep sense of accomplishment. She had never imagined that human ingenuity could earn the respect of a species so advanced. She realized that humans had an extraordinary ability. Even without alien powers, they could combine observation, creativity, and courage to solve challenges others could not. The Luminara invited Arya to a special chamber afterward. There, Elendra demonstrated a controlled display of their true power. Light and energy swirled, forming shapes of unimaginable complexity and beauty. The patterns moved like living creatures, reflecting emotions, thoughts, and harmony. It was not a weapon but an art, a way to communicate and connect. "You have seen a glimpse of what we are capable of," Elendra said. "But our power is meaningless without understanding. We value those who can think, adapt, and act with both mind and heart. Humans have shown us this." Arya realized the full meaning of Elendra's words. Humanity's strength lay in unpredictability, creativity, and courage, the very qualities that allowed them to bridge the gap between species and survive challenges that might overwhelm others. Humans were not the strongest, but they were resourceful and resilient, capable of harmonizing with even the most advanced civilizations. That evening, Arya recorded her log. "Today, we faced the Vorax fleet. Humanity could not fight like the Luminara, but our minds and courage made the difference. We have shown that even without alien powers, humans can influence the course of events. We adapt, we create, and we act with purpose. This is our gift. This is why the Luminara trust us." Yet, even as she wrote, Arya sensed that the galaxy held more challenges. The Vorax were only one threat, and many species might see Luminara's powers as a prize or danger. Humanity's journey was only beginning. But for the first time, Arya felt confident that humans had a place among the stars, not as weak observers, but as valued partners, capable of rising to challenges through ingenuity and courage. The Luminara gathered for a ritual to celebrate their victory and harmony. Arya stood among them, honored to be included. They instructed her to focus, to feel the flow of energy, and to imagine harmony between human thought and Luminara power. Slowly, she sensed a connection, not of strength but of understanding. Her human creativity aligned with the alien energy, forming patterns that were part human, part Luminara, something unique and new. Elendra smiled. "You are beginning to understand. True power is not in domination, but in connection, in knowing yourself and your allies. Humans have shown that they can rise to the occasion." Arya looked around at the glowing chamber, feeling a thrill she could not describe. Humanity had taken a first step toward unity with an alien race of incredible beauty and power. They had faced danger, used their minds, and earned respect. But the galaxy was vast, and new adventures awaited. Somewhere out there, other civilizations would challenge them, test them, and offer opportunities for humans to show their unique strength. Arya realized that humanity's journey had only just begun, and that their greatest power was the spark within them: courage, creativity, and the will to rise to any challenge. As the twin moons reflected off the shimmering energy of the city, Arya looked to the stars and smiled. She was ready for what came next. Humanity had proven it could face the unknown and emerge stronger, and with the Luminara as allies, the possibilities were endless. The twin moons of Luminara Prime cast a soft, silver glow over the floating city. The planet seemed at peace, but Captain Arya Solis knew that what awaited was not merely a celebration. It was a moment that could define humanity's place among the stars. After the confrontation with the Vorax fleet, Arya had gained a deep understanding of the Luminara. They valued not only their own abilities, but the minds and hearts of those who could rise to the challenge. Arya had proven that human creativity, courage, and adaptability could complement their energy manipulation. Now, the Luminara had invited her to witness a final ceremony, a ritual meant to unite the strengths of their two species and demonstrate humanity's true potential. Arya walked through the glowing streets, marveling once more at the beauty around her. The floating towers radiated gentle light, and the rivers glimmered like molten glass. Citizens of Luminara Prime, radiant and graceful, moved with harmony, their energy subtly blending with the environment. Arya felt both awe and humility. Humans had traveled far to reach this world, and now they stood at the threshold of something extraordinary. Elendra met Arya at the entrance to the central chamber. "Tonight, you will witness the culmination of what you have learned," she said. "But more than that, you will take part in shaping it. Your human mind, your choices, and your courage will merge with our energy in ways that few have ever experienced." Arya nodded. Her heart raced with excitement. "I'm ready," she said, though she did not fully understand what lay ahead. Inside the chamber, the air pulsed with soft, multicolored light. Energy patterns swirled above the floor, forming shapes that seemed almost alive. Luminara leaders floated gently in the air, radiating power that was both beautiful and inspiring. Arya took a deep breath, centering herself. She knew that her role was not to imitate them, but to harmonize her human creativity with their abilities. Elendra extended her hands, and a wave of energy enveloped Arya. She felt a warm connection, as though her thoughts and intentions could flow freely into the patterns above. The energy responded to her ideas. A spark of understanding ignited within her. This was not magic. It was a reflection of thought, intention, and harmony. "Focus on what you bring as a human," Elendra instructed. "Your mind sees possibilities. Your courage allows you to act. Your creativity shapes reality in ways even we cannot imagine." Arya closed her eyes and began to think, not with rigid logic, but with imagination. She imagined bridges of light spanning the chamber, connecting Luminara energy streams to her own thoughts. Patterns formed in response, vibrant and flowing, combining human intuition with alien precision. Shapes of stars, rivers, and forests appeared in midair, alive with motion. Around her, the Luminara adjusted their energy to complement hers. The chamber became a dance of light and thought, a tapestry woven from two species' strengths. Arya realized that this union was not just about demonstration. It was a statement. Humans could rise to the challenge of the galaxy not through force, but through ingenuity, understanding, and cooperation. Suddenly, Elendra gestured toward the ceiling, where a projection of the galaxy appeared. The Vorax fleet, once a looming threat, was now represented as distant points of light. Arya understood immediately. The ceremony was also a lesson. The galaxy could be navigated with intelligence and empathy, not only with power. Arya extended her mind further, imagining ways to harmonize humans and Luminara in exploration and diplomacy. The energy responded, forming glowing pathways between stars, connecting planets with arcs of light. These were not physical connections, but symbols of understanding, alliances, and potential collaboration. Elendra's voice echoed softly. "You see now, Captain Solis, power alone is empty. True strength lies in the mind and heart. Humans have shown they can rise to the occasion. You adapt, create, and act with purpose. That is why you are worthy of joining the harmony of the stars." Arya opened her eyes. The chamber shimmered with a brilliance she had never imagined. She felt a sense of pride, not for herself alone, but for all of humanity. Earth had sent representatives to the stars, and they had proven that humans could rise to challenges that even the most advanced species could respect. "Thank you," she whispered, overwhelmed. I promise humanity will honor this trust. The Luminara leaders nodded. It is already evident, Captain, Elendra said. The galaxy watches those who rise with courage and wisdom. Humans are now among them. Outside the chamber, citizens of Luminara Prime gathered to witness the ceremony. From her position, Arya saw glowing patterns ripple through the city, reflecting the harmony between human thought and Luminara energy. Children watched with wonder, elders nodded in approval, and the planet itself seemed to pulse with approval. Then Elendra invited Arya to take one final action. Show us what humanity can create when combined with our energy, she said. Arya closed her eyes once more. She focused on what humans were best at: creativity, adaptability, and hope. Slowly, her thoughts transformed into patterns of light that intertwined with the Luminara's energy. Shapes of ships, trees, bridges, and stars appeared, forming a vision of a future where humans and Luminara worked together across the galaxy. When she opened her eyes, the chamber glowed brighter than ever. Every citizen present gasped in awe. Humans had added something unique, something no Luminara alone could create. It was proof that even without innate powers, humans could leave a mark on the universe through courage, creativity, and cooperation. Elendra stepped forward. You have done more than harmonize with us, Captain Solis. You have shown the potential of your species. Humans are clever, brave, and adaptable. That is their true power. Arya felt a surge of joy and responsibility. She realized that Earth's journey among the stars was just beginning. Humans had been tested, they had proven themselves, and now they had allies who recognized their worth. The galaxy would not underestimate them again. As the ceremony concluded, Arya looked up at the twin moons. The stars beyond shone brightly, promising new adventures, challenges, and discoveries. Humanity had shown it could rise to the occasion, and the Luminara had welcomed them as partners. Together, they would explore, learn, and grow. Back aboard the Horizon's Dawn, Arya prepared a message to Earth. She wrote, "Today, humans have proven that even without alien powers, we are strong. Our courage, creativity, and ingenuity allow us to rise to challenges that seem impossible. We have earned trust, respect, and friendship among the stars. The galaxy is vast, and our journey has only begun. Humanity will continue to grow, explore, and inspire. This is our place in the universe." Lieutenant Rin looked over her shoulder. "Captain, do you really think Earth is ready for this?" Arya smiled. "Earth doesn't need to have powers to make a difference. It just needs heart, courage, and creativity. That's enough. That's what makes us human." The crew of the Horizon's Dawn watched as Luminara Prime faded behind them, glowing softly in the distance. The galaxy stretched ahead, full of unknown wonders. But for the first time, Arya felt confident that humanity could face whatever lay ahead. The Vorax fleet had retreated, the ceremony had united two species, and humans had proven themselves not through force, but through mind, heart, and imagination. The galaxy was vast, but humanity's spark burned brightly, ready to shine wherever challenges arose. As they traveled toward the next star system, Arya reflected on everything they had learned. Humans had qualities no one else could match: resilience, innovation, and the ability to adapt. Even in a universe of unimaginable power, humans could make a difference. They could harmonize, create, and inspire. And somewhere deep among the stars, Arya knew that countless adventures awaited. But one truth remained certain. Humanity had proven itself, and its place among the stars was earned. Not by force, not by alien powers, but by the most remarkable ability of all, the human mind and heart. The Horizon's Dawn sailed forward, leaving trails of light behind, a symbol of hope, courage, and the limitless potential of humanity. The galaxy was watching, and now it knew. Humans were a species to be reckoned with, not for what they could destroy, but for what they could create. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of promise. And Captain Arya solely smiled, ready to guide humanity into its bright future.